your seats for WorldWise. Hi there, and welcome once again to the game that will eventually take one of our contestants around the world for the trip of a lifetime. So let's meet our travelers who will be racing against each other for a place in the quarterfinals. This is the last remaining place in the quarterfinals of WorldWise this series. Our red contestant firstly is, what is your name, please?
Yasmin Griffin.
And how old are you, Yasmin?
13.
You're 13 years old. Whereabouts are you from?
Norwich.
Right, in Norfolk. And what hobbies or interests have you?
Speedway and football.
You like Norwich City football team, do you?
Yes.
What are they called?
Canaries.
The Canaries, that's right. Do you have a favourite holiday place?
I'd like to go to Switzerland.
Why?
So I like the mountains and chalets and that.
All right, very pretty place. Okay, let's meet our blue contestant now. What is your name, please?
Alex Mitov,
How old are you?
13,
And where are you from?
London.
And what hobbies or interests have you?
Comics, collecting comics, postcards, sport, and collecting Oggies.
Collecting Oggies. What's an Oggie?
Small monsters.
You collect small monsters?
Yeah, and the eyes turn around.
I see. What do you do with them? You just keep them up on your
Yeah.
shelves, do you? Right. Do you have a favourite holiday place?
Yeah, America and China.
Why do you want to go to China?
The Great Wall, I want to see that.
Right, fabulous. All right, well, good luck to the both of you in today's game. This week, our travelers start in Tashkent. It's one of the largest cities in Soviet Asia and is a main terminal for the Siberian Railway. Our duty-free places this week are Hawaii and Darwin. So let's move straight into round one. Round one is on the buzzer with our contestants answering general questions, so let's go. Question one, which character, a cartoon character this is, lives in Jellystone Park with his friend... Alex?
Yogi Bear.
Yogi Bear, I was going to say with his friend Boo Boo, and Yogi Bear is the right answer. Well interrupted, you're in Tashkent. Let's see your flight options now as pre-selected by our WorldWise computer. You can travel to Tehran, to Bombay, to Tomsk, or Peking. Where would you like to go to?
Bombay, please.
You'd like to go to Bombay, so you're heading south right away, remembering that you have to cross the equator at some point. Okay, what sort of polo is played without horses? Yasmin,
Ice polo?
what sort of polo did you say?
Ice?
Not ice polo, that's not the polo we're looking for. Alex?
Water polo.
Water polo is the answer we were looking for. All right then, Alex, now from Bombay, your travel options this time are Singapore, back to Tashkent, Aden, or the Seychelles.
Singapore, please.
You want to go to Singapore, so you shall. Just on the equator, but not quite across it yet. An animal called a wallaby looks like a small what and lives in Australia. Yasmin?
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo is the right answer. So let's remind ourselves now, once again, of the travel options from Tashkent. They are Tehran, Bombay, Tomsk, or Peking.
Peking.
You want to go to Peking, right. So you're striking out east to the capital of China. What name does Superman use when working as a newspaper reporter? Alex?
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent, he certainly does. From Singapore now. Your travel options are these: Hong Kong, Darwin, which is a duty-free place, don't forget. Also the Seychelles and Bombay.
Darwin, please.
Darwin is the place to be for you. You've crossed the equator. You're also heading in the direction you want to be. And you've just picked yourself up a pair of binoculars. So well done. All right, moving on. Which month follows the shortest month of the year? Yasmin.
August?
Quickly. No. Alex, quickly.
March,
March. Why?
because February is
This is the shortest month.
shortest.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, from Darwin then, in the north of Australia, you can go to Hong Kong, back to Singapore, to Sydney, or Tahiti.
Sydney, please.
To Sydney. Okay. Heading even further south. Which fictional bear is a friend of Tigger, Eeyore, and Piglet? Alex again.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh is the right answer. From Sydney, it'll be interesting to see what travel option you take here. Just three, because there's no place further south or further due south from Sydney. Tokyo, Darwin, or Auckland?
Tokyo, please.
Up to Tokyo. Right. It's a big jump north. And you've crossed the equator again. That sound signifies the end of round one. Yasmin, you are in Peking. You haven't crossed the equator yet, or the date line. You've not used your emergency visa, and you've made one flight. Alex is in Tokyo. He has crossed the equator, but not the date line yet. He's not used his visa, and he has made 5 flights. That puts Alex in the lead. And on to round two. Round two is a frantic physical game, this week involving duty-free shopping. Now, the scenario is this. Your flight has been delayed and you are obliged to spend some time at the airport. By way of compensation for this inconvenience, your airline has offered each passenger the opportunity to spend an allowance of 300 francs in the duty-free shop. Unfortunately, your allowance is only in francs, and you can only buy French goods. All other goods are void. Once you have identified and selected your purchase from the shelf, you must bring it back at once. One item time at a time to your computer console in front of you there and register your choice by passing the light pen across the barcode like this, and it'll make this noise. The computer will identify the object as you shop, and at the end of the round, then we'll assess your expenditure, and whoever is closest to the allowance, which is 300 French francs, will be the winner and will be awarded 2 flights. But be careful not to overspend, as this is not allowed. Right, your time limit is just 90 seconds, so if you're ready, that time begins now, so get shopping! Yasmin, you have to look for typically French goods. Coming up to just 15 seconds. Just a few seconds left, coming up to 5 seconds. Right then, travelers, would you please return to your pods, and we'll see how you've done. Starting with Yasmin, let's see how you got on with your duty-free shopping, your allowance being 300 francs. You bought some mussels for 9 francs, some French mustard for 16, a newspaper from France for 15 francs, some biscuits for 8 francs, some biscotte or dried toast for 15 francs, and Napoleon, a postcard of Napoleon, for 4 francs. Your total now is 67 francs. Let's have a look at your shopping list now, Alex. Your allowance again, 300 francs. You bought an effigy of the Eiffel Tower for 29 francs, a French dictionary for 17 francs, a beret for 45 francs, a flag. Unfortunately, you got the right colors, but the wrong way round. The stripe should be vertical, not horizontal. That's the Dutch flag, so that's void. And you bought some snails for 50 francs. The total value then of your purchases is 141 francs. That means, Alex, you're the winner of this game. Well done, Alex. As our winner, you have earned yourself a couple of flights. And Yasmin, you've got yourself a flight. Let's go to Alex first, though. He's in Tokyo, and he can travel from Tokyo to Hong Kong, Anchorage, Peking. If you use your emergency visa, you can do that. Or back to Sydney. Where would you like to go to?
Hong Kong, please.
You'd like to go Hong Kong. Hong Kong, you're doubling back on yourself, okay? You want to do this? An interesting flight pattern. Yasmin, you're in Peking. Let's see where you'd like to go to. You can travel to Tashkent, which is where you started, Tokyo, Hong Kong, or Tomsk. I think you're going to have to use your visa to make any progress.
Yeah. Tokyo, please.
All right, Tokyo. Right, that means you've used your emergency visa and you're only allowed to use it once. Right then, Alex, back to you now. You're in Hong Kong. Let's see which route you're going to choose this time. Back to Bombay or Singapore. If you use your visa, you can go to Peking or back to Tokyo.
Tokyo, please.
You want to go back to Tokyo. Okay. And at the end of that round, Yasmin, we leave you in Tokyo. You have not yet crossed the equator or the dateline. Never mind, there's still time to do so. You had to use your emergency visa, and you've now made 2 flights. Alex is in Tokyo. He's crossed the equator, not the dateline yet. He has not used his emergency visa, and he has made 7 flights. So, Alex, at this point, you are our leader. And on we go into round 3. In round 3, our contestants will watch an in-flight movie and then try and answer questions about what they have just seen and heard at the end of it. Once again, earning free flights for each correct answer. Now, today it's a film about a 12-year-old boy who lives and works in Peru in South America. Oscar, who is 12, and his sisters live in Peru. He is not only a schoolboy, but a farmer and shepherd as well. Sheep are very important in Peru and provide wool, milk, and leather, and occasionally meat. They need constant care, and Oscar, not having a sheepdog, uses his slingshot to chase them into better grazing land. During spare moments between jobs, everybody spins woolen yarn on a drop spindle, including Oscar, who started at the age of 4. Later, he strengthens it by spinning it once again on a wooden spinning wheel. From it, hats and jumpers are knitted for all the family. The high plains of Peru need protection from wind and weather erosion. And so Oscar is growing eucalyptus seedlings in small bags of compost to plant there. They grow very fast, and in 5 years' time will be tall trees. Every day, Oscar and his sister visit the family's potato field and help to hoe the soil and weed out unwanted plants. It is the staple diet of the Peruvians, and potatoes are often made into a soup with other vegetables and cooked over an open fire and then eaten outdoors. Right then, 3 questions each based on what we've just seen and heard. First of all, Yasmin, what does Oscar use to move the flock of sheep?
Slingshot.
Slingshot is the right answer. Right, Yasmin, your options from Tokyo are Anchorage or back to Peking. Hong Kong and Sydney are closed to you because you've used your emergency visa already. Where would you like to go to?
Anchorage.
Okay, so you shall, and you've crossed the international date line and you've come up on the other side. Well done. Alex, what sort of seedlings was Oscar growing?
Eucalyptus.
Tree seedlings.
Tree seed.
Eucalyptus tree seedlings.
Yeah.
Not an easy word. Right, from Tokyo, your options are, here we go again. You can go to Anchorage or Peking because you've not used that visa yet. You could also go back to Hong Kong or Sydney if you like. What would you like to do?
Anchorage, please.
So you're both in Anchorage, and you've crossed the date line as well. Yasmin, what was roaming about in the yard where he was growing his seedlings?
Chickens.
Yes, chicks and chickens were doing that. From Anchorage now, you can go south to Vancouver in BC, or back to Tokyo. You can go to Winnipeg, or look at that, a duty-free shop available to you.
Hawaii, please.
You want to go to Hawaii, so you shall, and you've just won yourself the latest calculator. Well done, Yasmin. Okay, now, Alex, what does Oscar and his sister visit every day to work on?
The fields.
Can you remember what sort of field?
For grazing for sheep.
It wasn't, actually. It was the family potato field. A potato, that was the crops they were growing there. Okay, Yasmin, at the start of the film, how does Oscar's youngest sister get about?
On a backpack.
By piggyback on her older sister's back. Right. From Hawaii, then, here come your options. And they are Los Angeles, the city of the angels, back to Tokyo, on to Auckland, or up to Vancouver.
Los Angeles.
You want to go down to Los Angeles. Right, remembering that you still have to cross the equator. Alex, your final question. When Oscar is using his spinning wheel, what does his sister spin on? It's something I mentioned in the film. A drop spindle. A drop spindle. At the end of that round, Yasmin is in Los Angeles, yet to cross the equator. She has crossed the date line. She has used her emergency visa, and she has made 5 flights. Alex is in Anchorage. He's crossed both the equator and the date line, has used his visa, and he has made 8 flights, so Alex is in the lead. And it's on to round 4. Right then, round 4 is your last chance to make it home and go WorldWise. We're back on the buzzers for this final round of quick-fire questions, and here they come. Question 1, how often are the Olympics held? Alex?
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years is the right answer. From Anchorage now, let's see your travel options. They are Vancouver, back to Tokyo, Winnipeg, or Hawaii.
Winnipeg, please.
You want to go to Winnipeg? Right, traveling east, and there you are in the center of Canada. Where are the Victoria Falls? That's Yasmin.
In Africa.
They are in Africa. So from Los Angeles now, your destinations available are Mexico City, Vancouver, or back to Hawaii.
Mexico City.
To Mexico City, right. Heading closer to the equator. What is a penny black? Alex.
It's a stamp.
A rare Victorian stamp, that's right. Okay, from Winnipeg now. Your travel options are these. Newfoundland, still in Canada, back to Vancouver, down to New York. Where do you want to go?
New York, please.
Okay, the Big Apple is yours on the eastern seaboard of the U.S. If you found a red admiral in your garden, what would you have found? Yasmin.
Butterfly.
Butterfly is the right answer. So, from Mexico City now. Let's see where you can go. And remember, you have to cross the equator, right? Caracas, Galapagos Islands are 2 new destinations you can go to, or back to Los Angeles, or Hawaii.
Galapagos Islands.
Right, you've crossed the equator. Well done. In the Galapagos Islands. If someone gave you a trilby, what would you do with it? Yasmin?
Wear it
Wear it. Whereabouts?
on your head.
On your head. It's a hat. Okay, from the Galapagos Islands then. Here come your travel options. Caracas, Tahiti, Lima, or back to Mexico City?
Caracas.
Caracas in Venezuela. The race is hotting up. What is CO2? Alex?
Is it carbon dioxide?
It certainly is carbon dioxide. Now then, from New York, you can travel up to Newfoundland, back to Winnipeg, or Bermuda in the Atlantic.
Bermuda, please.
To Bermuda, right. Just a little trip there. Takes about 2 hours by air from New York. What name is given to the clothes worn by a nun? Yasmin?
A habit.
A habit is right. Caracas is where you are. These are the destinations available to you. Lima, back to the Galapagos Islands, or Rio?
Rio.
Rio de Janeiro. Heading further south. There you are, down in South America. If you describe someone as a bookworm, what do they do? Alex?
Read books.
Yeah, they read a lot, that's right. Okay, from Bermuda now. You're trying to cross the Atlantic. Let's see if you can do so. Newfoundland, back to New York, or the Azores are your options.
Azores, please.
The Azores in the mid-Atlantic there. How many moons does the Earth have? Alex?
1.
1 is the right answer. From the Azores now. Your options are Madrid, back to Bermuda, on up to Newfoundland, that would be going back on yourself, or Dakar.
Madrid, please.
Madrid, right, you're in Europe now. What color are an albino rabbit's eyes? Yasmin?
Pink.
They are pink, right. From Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, you can travel to Sao Paulo, Santiago, Lima, or St. Helena.
St. Helena.
St. Helena, right. That's a good strategy because it's carrying you eastwards, isn't it? If you spent 100 drachma, where are you shopping? Alex?
Greece.
Greece is the right answer. Okay, from Madrid now, your options are London, back to the Azores, to Dakar, or to Cairo?
Cairo, please.
Cairo, okay. Remember, you're trying to get back to Tashkent. What color skin does a Caucasian person have? Alex?
Yellowish.
No. Yasmin?
Brown.
No. White. What does an ornithologist... Ah, that signifies the end of that round and the end of the game. Right, my computer tells me that, Alex, you're just 1 flight away from Tashkent. That means you are this week's winner. Congratulations. But well played to you, Yasmin. We left you in St. Helena. You crossed the equator and the date line. You had to use your emergency visa, and you made 10 flights. You also dropped in at a duty-free shop and won yourself the latest calculator. You've also got yourself a WorldWise travel bag full of presents that you can take away on your next trip. Well done. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Right, Alex. You're in Cairo. You
And
crossed...
her husband.
Today, most of those showers in the north and in the east, and it will feel cold down that eastern coast in that strong north wind. Elsewhere, temperatures around 10 or 11 degrees. And then it's going to be a cold and a frosty night and a mixture of sunny spells and wintry showers yet again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Stay with BBC One.